Dream Team, it's your boy Neal, back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with Aussie life at home in quarantine. What was it like for Aussies in quarantine? I know what it was like in America, and it wasn't fun. But before we dive into this, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Ring the notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You don't subscribe to any of it? Put all the links in the description. All you got to do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. Love talking to you guys. You guys are the most incredible team on YouTube. What we got?
God damn it. So I moved from the safe, inbuilt isolation of tropical far north Queensland down to the populated Gold Coast just in time for a pandemic. So far my social distancing has looked like this. Making coffee, reading about all the fresh horrors that arose overnight. These are some fresh horrors. Eating literally all of my quarantine food in one go. Scrolling through social media and wondering how so many people know absolutely nothing about the economy. Vitamin C, olive leaf extract. Oh. Bit of kombucha. Getting some sun. Make another coffee. I'm making another coffee. Watch the death toll rise. Checking the fridge again. Honestly, the only social distancing I need is from this bad boy.
I feel very similar, especially with the food. I had a very similar life, but mine was mostly watching Netflix, watching Hulu, watching Amazon Prime, watching Disney Plus, watching nothing but videos. I started my YouTube channel during the pandemic. So it was just a lot of sitting around in front of screens, I feel like.
Honestly, the only social distancing I need is from this bad boy. Benefits of quarantine. I can wear this outfit and literally no one will ever see me. Cons of quarantine. I was literally doing that anyway because I work from home regardless. Look, I've been doing this for years. I can do it for another 6 months. That's fine.
I don't know, 3 or 4.
3 or 4 what? Days? Weeks? Months?
Yeah, maybe 5.
5 what?
If it does get to a point where we're genuinely never allowed to leave the house though, I'm probably going to start having conversations with my clients. So I got hell bored and decided to do a little question thing on Instagram. If you don't already follow me, go do that at Brianne Worth. But you sent in a ton and I couldn't answer them all on Instagram, so I'm going to finish it off here. This one just says, grow your Instagram, DM me. You love to see it. Do you think the coronavirus should be worried about? Weird wording, absolutely. I've been talking about this for ages on like Instagram and Twitter, well before it was sort of like adopted by Australian mainstream media. Just doing straight math, I think it's somewhere between 5 and 20% of coronavirus patients require hospitalization or the ICU. Yeah. If even 20% of the population gets the virus and then another 20% or even 5% of that need to be hospitalized and then put into the ICU, we just don't have enough ICU beds. Well, we've got a few thousand ICU beds in the whole country. And producing ventilators is one thing, but getting enough people to staff them properly, we just don't have that. And we have no way of getting that amount of staff. So stopping the spread or slowing it is absolutely vital. So yeah, we should be worried about it. We should be taking it seriously because that's just math. That's not even an opinion. It's just straight maths. What do we have? What would we need? We don't have enough. The death toll for coronavirus not being as high or as extreme as other viruses and diseases doesn't really matter. It's because it's so contagious and so many people are getting it that even the 5% of that many people will completely inundate our healthcare systems. That's what the ultimate problem is. And then you have people dying indirectly from the virus because if someone gets in a car crash or has some kind of an injury that's usually quite treatable and not a death sentence, but there's no hospital beds to treat them, then you've got people dying from that as well. And the economy is tanking, so you've got people dying from that as well. Like it's a big interwoven problem that needs to be addressed by people doing their part and staying at home. What was the question? Should we be worried?
God damn, Brianne, you just broke it down so perfectly. Literally, so perfectly. About how the disease directs us directly and indirectly affects us as well. I feel like you should have talked to our American government when this came, because I think we have the highest death toll in the world and the highest, like, most people in the world that caught it. Like, we might have needed you to talk to the people in power. You feel me? Because that was perfect.
problem that needs to be addressed by people doing their part and staying at home. What was the question? Should we be worried? Yeah, definitely. But worrying and panicking are two separate things. You can worry and be productive and do your bit, or you can panic and just make the problem worse. We stay away from this one. What do you like most about working for yourself other than being able to self-quarantine? At the moment, the thing I like the most at the moment is, being able to still work from home and still have a job, but the job stability, like, this is weird. I'm not at this point any more worried about my job disappearing than any other day of the year. Like, social media is volatile. That's just the nature of it, and it's always been that way. So I feel weirdly lucky in a roundabout way that this pandemic is not necessarily, it's not a death sentence for my job, because my job's already quite volatile. So I feel very lucky to still be able to work. I understand a lot of people have lost their jobs. You just have to look at Centrelink lines at the moment. Heaps of people have been laid off. So it's not lost on me that I'm very lucky. With that being said, if you are looking for some like passive or supplementary income, then I want to introduce you to an app called Honeygain. Just to keep it bare bones and simple, you share your internet connection.
I'm gonna skip the sponsor. I don't know where it is.
And you make money from that. You can earn money to like cover your costs. You don't have to actually buy anything to do this. You just the description to download the app for Windows, Mac. I had a chat to Honeygain about this because I thought this could be fun. So use the link below and the code coronavirus fund, and which helps fight coronavirus and is a solidarity response fund for the World Health Organization. One question I had, which is probably the same as the questions that you have, network it is being used for. It's being used by ad fraud prevention, brand protection. Your data is safe. Again, you can find out a lot more about this on their website, but that's just something that I thought of that I figured you would think of as well. But if you do need a bit of extra money on the side, this is probably a great way to do it. Just reiterating that we want isolation.
Oh, I feel like what she said, because I actually, like I said, I started this YouTube channel when the pandemic happened. But before that, like, I was able to slide into a job like literally a week before like Corona was around, but us Americans, we was late to shutting everything down. So like a week to 2 weeks before everything just started shutting down and everybody had to work from home, like I slid right into this job at literally the perfect timing. And I was definitely very lucky to be able to work from home. And then I got to start this channel, and now I work from home every day. But she said social media, the instability that comes. It's not like I'm going to work 8 hours, I'm getting paid a certain amount every hour. It's some months are better than other months. Some months are tough. And so it's just like, you got to figure it out. I guess that's the only way to put it. You never know. I still be, after the end of every month, I still got to go back to the drawing board and be like, am I gonna have to go out and get another job, or can I figure this out and make it sustainable? So it's very volatile, like she said. All right, keep it going, Brianne.
Well, but if you do need a bit of extra money on the side, this is probably a great way to do it. Just reiterating that we want isolation vlogs no matter how boring, and you're probably going to get them. You should come up with as many COVID pickup lines as you can. I'm going to make that a task for tomorrow. This is an ongoing vlog. I'm going to brainstorm. We're in lockdown for a while. I've got the time. Look at all the conspiracy theories from where this all came from. Look, I might, but I feel like most of the conspiracy theories are just, some are so valid, others are just racist for no reason, with no backing. We'll see. Thoughts on impending recession and mass unemployment. Oh boy, I'm gonna need another coffee for that one. Like I said earlier, like my job personally is no more or less volatile than it always has been. And I'm in no way downplaying the effects that this virus has had and will have on people's lives and just society as a whole, because we're in some serious shit, and we probably will be in some serious shit for months and months and months at like a minimum. But I do find it interesting because all of these things that we were sort of raised and brainwashed to an extent to believe that couldn't happen are all happening now. International travel and flight stopping, businesses slowing down, hyper-consumeristic behavior being almost completely squashed. Human freedom to live and move about the planet is not really a thing anymore. None of those things exist as they used to anymore, and I think that's forcing all of us to be a little bit more present and just a little bit scared, and I think overall that could be a good thing. I hope out of all of this people actually sort of wake up a little bit and start looking into how the economy actually works, who built it, who it was built for, and that it's all a fiat-based system. It only exists because all of us believe that it exists, and yes, governments can just pull trillions of dollars out of thin air for no reason. They could have done that a lot earlier for any reason and helped a bunch of vulnerable people, but they chose not to. I understand that all of us have to sort of just collectively agree that these structures do exist, but when those same structures are manipulated in such a way that they are taking from the majority of the population so that a small percentage of the population can just live in complete excess, it just makes no sense. And so now when you're seeing massive closures and you're seeing that it's actually the grocery store workers, the medical staff, truck drivers, farmers, like shelf stackers, warehouse workers, factory workers, all these people who are usually like looked down on for some reason, who are actually the ones running the country. And then you've got CEOs on millions of dollars a year contributing relatively very little to society and yet taking so much out from it. And that gets glossed over, you get distracted from it, and fundamentally people just don't understand the economy or any of the other systems that are controlling their daily lives. They just sort of tune out. But then coronavirus comes along and it's shedding light on all of these things and it's proving that, yeah, you literally can just help people. It was never a budget issue. You don't have to have a majority of the population suffering to benefit 1% of people. That's not a default state. That's just how 1% of people have constructed the world to exist. If this 1% up here are making all of the rules, they're going to make the rules for themselves, not for everybody else. So coronavirus has come along and shed light on all of those issues, and if people want to wake up and look at what's happening and learn from it and change it, this is the perfect opportunity to do so. It's just like a known unspoken truth that most of the power in the world actually lies with the vast majority of people who have no power, because when workers can't go to work, essential workers especially, with the exception of I guess medical workers, all of those jobs are looked down on and paid the least. But if they all stepped out, society would cease to function. CEOs, tech bros, millionaires, billionaires, like nothing about our fundamental survival changes when they're not there. Without the top 10% of people, you still have electricity, you still have food, you still have a functioning society, you still have healthcare. Do you see am I making sense? I just think it's very interesting. I think this whole virus situation, the pandemic, everything is obviously awful, has already had and will continue having devastating consequences, but I think this is a fantastic opportunity to learn and adapt and overcome. Is that a slogan for something? Is that a slogan?
Bro, Brianne out here just preaching nothing but truth. Preaching nothing but truth. Everything she said just hit me, and I'm like, that's facts. That's true. It's literally all true. Like, I feel like I'm in class, being entertained and educated at the same time. Keep it going.
Fantastic opportunity to learn and adapt and overcome. Is that a slogan for something? Is that the Survivor? Outwit, outplay, outlast. I think COVID-19 has come along and burst the bubble that we've all been living in, that we can just have exponential growth, reckless consuming, unnecessary consumption of just everything. You can't have exponential growth on a planet with finite resources. Doesn't make sense. We were going to learn this lesson slowly anyway. This has just really sped up the process, and I do hope that we do learn from this. I've always had conversations about this kind of stuff growing up with like my dad, so I've always been sort of waiting for something to pop that bubble. I didn't anticipate that being a virus, but here we are. So I understand the need for people to want things to go back to normal, but I also don't think back to normal is where we should be trying to head, because back to normal led us exactly to where we were before all of this shit hit the fan. Okay, so I've just gone into a rant. Don't know how many questions I actually answered on Instagram. Shouts out to these people. I'm so sorry I didn't get to your question. I guess I'll get back to you with my coronavirus pickup line. Is that hand sanitizer in your pocket, or are you just happy to be within 6 feet of me? Hey babe, can I ship you a drink? I'm just a girl standing 6 feet away from a boy, asking him to maybe move back another foot, thanks. I'm not in my lines, or has your smile just left me breathless? I wash my hands when there's no pandemic too. I feel like that one's just a given.
I'm just a girl standing 6 feet from a boy, asking him, can you take another foot back? Can you step another foot back? It's that pneumonia in my lungs, or how you just left me breathless. I love these COVID pickup lines.
I wash my hands when there's no pandemic too. I feel like that one's just a given, come on. Even during the corona pandemic, the most contagious thing is still your smile. I have 60 rolls of ultra soft toilet paper. Enough said. I feel like this is a new standard of wealth, like how much toilet paper do you have? If COVID-19 doesn't take you out, can I? Are you an N95 mask? Because I want you on my face. You can't spell virus without you and I. I saw you from across the bar. Stay there. We're quarantined in the same house. Your options are kind of limited. 1 ply, 2 ply, neither. The only thing I'm looking for is your reply. That one was a stretch. Well, I'll let it pass. Are you COVID-19? Because if I had you near me, I wouldn't leave the house for 2 weeks straight. Since all the public libraries are closed, I'm checking you out instead. Can't spell quarantine without you are a cutie. Stay home if you're sick. Come over if you're thick. Is it hot in here, or is it just
I like that one. Stay home if you're sick. Come over if you're thick.
Stay home if you're sick, come over if you're thick. Is it hot in here or is it just our fevers and general shortness of breath? Are you looking for a bad girl? Because I only washed my hands for 19 seconds. Filth. It is such a beautiful day outside to spend indoors. I might go for my daily allocated walk soon. So I have this, which is only about a year and a half overdue, and that would be my 100,000 subscribers plaque. I think I reached at like the end of 2018. So let's unbox that,
So
I guess.
dope.
Oh, it's a mirror. Didn't want to see that today. Here's this, Brianne
That's
Worth.
so
That is my
cool.
name. So thank you to everyone who got me to this point, and also the 50-something thousand more of you that have joined since. On that note, if you're not subscribed, you should do that. I give shout outs to people who subscribe and put the bell on at the end of every video. Also to people who follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I'll do those shout outs in just a second, but I have to address, am I the only one being heavily targeted by Domino's right now? Just going off emails alone. This is not including Instagram ads, Facebook ads. I will say, not spawn, it's worked twice. It always works. If you aren't currently following me on TikTok and Instagram, heavily recommend... Welcome. Heavily recommend you go do that. Lots of quarantine content. And on that note, Instagram shout out goes to JustJames331. TikTok shout out goes to Hit the Road 05. And YouTube shout out goes to Tanisha Galloway. Thank you guys for subscribing, commenting, following, whatever it is that you do. Any form of your support is appreciated. Thanks to everyone who got me to 100k and everyone that's gotten me to the point I'm at now. At some point I did say if I reached 300k I'd do a shoey. So if you want a shoey in the near future, like this video, leave a comment, do whatever you want really, but I appreciate your help either way. I'm gonna
We
go
gotta get that shoey.
have a think. Maybe I'll have a walk, I don't know. The options are very limited.
I gotta see that shoey happen. Is she at what is she at right now? 229k. God, we gotta throw her to 300. We trying to see the shoey. And while y'all throwing her to 300, can you throw me to 100? Can I get my plaque? I just want to get my plaque. I just want to get the plaque. I want to hang it up. I want to. You know, it's a goal of mine. Can y'all help me get the plaque? Please. That's all we got for this one. If you guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon and drop it in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media and Patreon are all up top. You want to subscribe to any of it? Put all the links in the description. All you got to do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. Love talking to you guys. You guys are the most incredible team on YouTube. See what you need. Out.